Florida's newest and best in radio, Sunshine Radio 96.7 FM.
Hello there, this is Keith, the boss of the beach, coming to you. And of course, we have had a wonderful week here, but we want to say thank you for tuning in. And we're going to be talking about a lot of information for veterans. Now, rise and shine. Rise and shine to Sunshine Radio 96.7, Saturday mornings. This is Voice for Veterans and the rest of us who say we support veterans too. News, commentary, information, education, music, and entertainment. New just for you, 96.7. Now, you've heard the rest. Stay tuned for the best. Rise and shine to Sunshine Radio and stay with us all day long.
Hi, this is Patty. I work at the VFW, 6827. It's a great place to work for. I work here because I love helping veterans. We are having a July 3rd picnic. It starts at 1 o'clock in our tiki bar outside. It's going to be a great time. Hope you all enjoy it and come. Thanks.
Well, hello there. This is Keith, the boss of the beach. And, of course, it's almost 4th of July. And if you're going to be tuning in to us, of course, this is WVETonlineradio.com. And I'm Keith, the boss of the beach, and the show is Voice for Veterans. We're going to spend the rest of this month going from different VFWs. We're going to go to American Legions, AMVETS, and, of course, our VA. And we're here, of course, at this VFW. And we want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to us today. Of course, this is a special 4th of July radio show. And I got lucky because they're going to be having their big activity on the 3rd. You'll be hearing this on the morning of the 3rd. So if you're anywhere and you want to support a veterans activity, stay tuned to this program, and we're going to tell you where to come, where to enjoy this day. I want to say thank you to Tim and, of course, Gino for what they do to support our veterans at all ways. We want to thank again for American Veterans Alliance. We support veterans too, and all of our people at the VA at the best right now, which is Bay Pines. And again, if you heard us over Memorial Day, you heard from the young lady who's now in charge of marketing, and she was wonderful. There are a lot of good activities coming up from Bay Pines. I have a gentleman sitting here at this VFW that's going to chat with you a minute, and he works at the beach, and he just want to say hello and thank everybody again. And of course, this is Peter Gooden, who specializes in working with our veterans. And he's going to say hello to you right now and tell you thank you for all you do.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Peter Gooden. Hey, what we do, we work with veterans and the Bear with Dignity Foundation to make sure that all veterans get a dignified memorial service. And with Lincoln Heritage, with My Final Wishes, that means you have a dignified memorial when you pass away. So 4th of July is a great time of year. We support all veterans, and WVET Online Radio, keep it low. Man, God bless. Thank you.
Well, Don had to go to work. He's with the VA. He said, be sure and tell everybody hello. Don is one of the executives out there and works hard to maintain our relationship with veterans. And he's always good to talk with, but he's on his way into the office. And he said, okay, but to please tell everybody happy 4th of July. And that's, of course, is from Bay Pines and their executive staff who appreciate all the stuff that we do and that you do as an audience to make sure that Bay Pines is considered and still one of the best VA centers in the country. We go way back, a long way, when VA was struggling to get more recognition in the state of Florida, and a guy named Bill Young, and then went to battle. And, of course, we got Charlie Crist, who's still battling. And we got Governor DeSantis winning the battle. And we want to say we thank them for all the stuff they're doing. You can go to WVETonlineradio.com and click on services. Click on all of the buttons that say something about us, and there's plenty of information. Vets 214, a lot of information right there. And of course, if you're looking for something when it comes to the University of South Florida, comes to St. Petersburg College, ask them to send you through the VA centers there, because they will guide you to the stuff that might be able to help you. If you're not a vet and you're just a brat, which is a children of veterans, or you're just a sidekick. Sidekick is a new term being thrown around here at the VA. I know the young man who started it. His name is Carlos Kelly. And sidekicks are now getting recognition. So those who support veterans in many ways. We want to say thank you to all of those who've been supporting veterans in many ways. We want to talk a little bit about those who know about it but don't support veterans because they don't know that they exist in the way they should help. You can always call up the VA and they'll tell you what organizations in your area. And of course, all of our VSOs get plenty of recognition, but unless you happen to have a family member who's current, family member or children just now joining the military, somebody who died in World War II and you want to know a little bit more about it, let's call the VA. And they will help you. If you can't get them directly because the line is busy, you can call American Veterans Alliance, Society for Hispanic Veterans, U.S. and Latin Veterans Support Embassy. These are all organizations that will give out proper information and will work directly with you as you look at joining the family of those who can say, we support veterans too. Now, we're going to mention a few cities that have a big push, and one here is St. Petersburg, Tampa. We have a big push to support our veterans in many, 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 many ways. So, you happen to be outside of this area of Florida and you really want some good help, you got James Haley and you got Bay Pines right here. There's something new coming out, which is called Tiny Homes for Homeless Veterans. Now, we're working with a group that does, I guess they're considered tiny homes too, but they've taken railroad cars and converting them into tiny homes. What's nice about this railroad car is its durability. It is made of steel and tin and copper, all that makes it a little bit better than just wood. They're small homes, well designed, and you can get one for veterans. There are programs set up now for veterans who are interested in getting a small home and coming out from under the bridge. Join the effort to provide tiny homes to homeless veterans in St. Petersburg. And of course, your big heart provides homeless veterans with their own tiny home. And of course, you can donate, of course, at celebrateoutreach.org. Celebrateoutreach.org. Find out a little bit more about them. And of course, this is also supported by University, of course, of South Florida. I really do want you all to look at this because this is something that's going to be a big benefit, especially in our state. We have a lot of homeless veterans making their way down here. Approximately 1.4 million of the veterans are considered risk of homelessness due to poverty, lack of support, network, and extreme shortages of available houses have now made their way to us. Homeless veteran statistics says the U.S. Florida has second largest number of homeless veterans. We're close to 3,000 just in our area. Let's put some of these little boxcars in some of these little homes, please, to use. Now, 329 veterans, they say, in Pinellas County spend under the bridge. I can tell you it's way more than that. But if they say 329, we got some work to do. Don't forget, Celebrate Outreach, or catch us right here, WVETOnlineradio.com, and we have something for you. Another place that I want you to go and start looking up information as you need more, and that's going to be your Veterans Guide from Bivouac, BIVOUAC. That is a local paper here that supports our veterans. The man is a gentleman and a scholar, but we have a lot more information available in Bivouac than we can even do on the website. So what we want you to do is go pick up a Bivouac anywhere you can to support our veterans, and you continue to support. Don't forget, WVETOnlineradio.com. And if you're tuning in to us on a local basis, that's 96.7 FM Sunshine Radio. And I'm Keith, the boss of the beach. You can find me at one of the beaches. I'm constantly out there looking around. But we want to say thank to every one of us who are actually spending time, taking something in today, because the 4th of July is coming. And guess what? It is the second largest holiday that supports veterans. Veterans Day is the first, Memorial Day is the second, and of course, 4th of July actually is third. We celebrate America on the 3rd. And start talking about tired of fighting with the VA, call us first. Don't fight with them. They've gotten better. You may be getting some of the old timers who've been set in their ways and don't realize that things have had to change, and they have. We want you to know that you can go to the VFW if you have a legal problem, and they'll take you to the legal center or somewhere where you can get help. So don't be in despair. There's plenty of help here to help. And this is another little bit of information from Voice for Veterans. Now, I'm going to stay tuned right now. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're still the greatest country on the face of the earth, the home of the brave and the land of the free.
This is Tim with WVET, onlineradio.com. We're interviewing Mike, my favorite brother-in-law, because he's got the coolest cars. He's going to tell us a little bit about his military service and what he's been doing since he retired from the Navy. You did 30 years, right, Mike?
Yes, it did.
Tell us a little bit about your time in and, like what ship you were on, where you were stationed, stuff like that. And anything you want to talk about with your time in. Tell us when you went in and, whatever details you want to give.
So I joined the Navy in 1987 from Hawaii. And Debbie joined the Navy in 1986. She moved me to Hawaii from Florida. I initially went to boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois, and then went to A school in Dam Neck, Virginia. I graduated A school as an operations specialist. I was a seaman recruit and retired after 30 years as a ops tech chief warrant officer 4. My first ship was a Garcia class frigate, FF 1048, the sample. And I made one Westpac on that from Hawaii. And my next decommissioned that ship and went to my second ship, which was the Harold E. Holt, FF 1074. Made another Westpac on that. And we moved to Virginia in 1991. And that's where I spent the rest of my career. So from 91 to 2017 was spent in Virginia. I did mostly small boys my whole career, destroyers like the Arleigh Burke, the Ross, the McFall. I did a couple Oilers, the John Lenthal, the Kanawha, and my last tour was was a carrier, the Harry S. Truman. So that was my last deployment, 15 going into 16. I made a total of 14 deployments in my 30 years, and 21 of my 30 years were at sea on ships. So my shore duties included relocatable over-the-horizon radar instructor in Virginia, Southwest Naval Station Northwest, and Dam Neck. I was stationed there as an instructor, an A school instructor, and a graphics artist. I also went to teach ASTAC school, anti-submarine tactical air controller, and my last shore duty was in Dahlgren, Virginia, as an instructor. I was teaching CO XO tours, so teaching them how to fight ships and stuff like that. My last station was with Desron 28, as the lead warfare commander for surface ASW warfare, and from that I retired.
At what point did you know that you wanted to be a lifer?
From day one. I actually came in the Navy saying that I would do 30 years. My goal was because the retirement was 75%. If you did 30 years, you got 75% of your retirement. My goal was to do the 30 years and then retire with 75% of my pension.
Do you have any words of advice for people that are either in or trying to decide if they want to go into the military?
Let's see. My words of advice would be, if you're in the military now, take advantage of the GI Bill while you're in the Navy. Get your education, and then you should be trying to become the best that you can be and make it as high up as you can before you retire. If you're coming in the Navy or military in general, my words of advice there would be to make sure that you know exactly what you're signing up for, what type job you're going to do, and determine whether or not that job is good for you once you do get out of the military. If your job is, say, as a cook, you know that translates over into a civilian job, and it can help you out there. If you're an operations specialist, then it's a little harder finding a job once you get out. So you have to be creative when you're looking for a job. So my advice would be set yourself up for after the military. Don't just look at doing 20 years or 30 years and then planning on not going anywhere after that.
Okay, great advice. Okay, so let's talk about what have you been doing since you got out of the military? What kind of hobbies?
Since I've retired from the military, I just picked up, or I just actually just started doing more of what I like to do. So I actually started working on cars when I was younger, and with my father, more towards Volkswagens and stuff like that. But moved on to Chevelles, 66, 67 Chevelles, and actually restoring cars in the mid to late 90s with a friend of mine. And now, since I've retired in 2017, I'm actually starting to get a little more into it with the restoration part of it, doing it as a side hobby or job. I've started going to school, Tidewater Community College, going to school for auto mechanics, collision repair, advanced refinishing, painting, and stuff like that. So I'm using the GI Bill, the post 9/11 GI Bill, to help me with that. With other hobbies, I actually load shotgun shells. I load rifle shells or rifle ammunition and handgun ammunition. My shotgun ammunition, I actually sell that. Own a company called Muddy Water Hand Loads, where I load shotgun shells and sell them for hunting. That's a couple of my hobbies, Tim.
I know that you're a bow hunter. What do you like better, using guns or the bow?
I think I like them all. Archery, bow hunting is fun because you're there in the woods before dogs get in the woods. In Virginia, North Carolina, they're allowed to run dogs. So during gun season, so you're in the woods early enough during bow season where there's no dogs, stirring up the deer. The deer are not aware, and you have to get closer to harvest an animal. Black powder is another option. I basically like them all. Black powders, they still haven't run dogs yet, so you've got a couple weeks there where the where you can take advantage of that. And then I've also got into rifle hunting, but more for bear right now, or not bear, I'm sorry, more for hogs. So going to Georgia hog hunting with the rifles. So I kind of like it all.
Okay. Well, you're not just a sports hunter. You when you hunt, you actually harvest the meat and prepare it for your family, friends.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a trophy hunter by no means. I only take what I'm going to eat and what I'm going to share with family and friends. So, say for instance, last year I killed one 300-pound hog and chose not to go deer hunting last year. This year, my plan is to take advantage of deer hunting, where I'll normally average maybe 3 deer in a season, and try and get 1 or 2 hogs.
That's cool. I also know you're an awesome cook. Did you do any schooling for that, or just come up with recipes on your own, YouTube videos, whatever?
Yeah, no schooling, no schooling per se for cooking. That's more of just going by taste and helping friends and hanging out with friends and doing some cooking. I did volunteer a lot on the ships and would cook extra meals or meals with the CSs on board the ship. So I got a lot of help from them as well. But most of the time I would just bring my food, say a deer or a hog, and share that with people on the ship. But most of my training is just what I learned from my dad cooking.
Very cool. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I do appreciate you coming on with us. Sorry for the technical issues earlier.
No problem, Tim.
All right. Give Debbie a hug for me. Love you guys. And thank you for your service.
All right, brother. Love you. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay tuned. More from the Boss of the Beach at WVETonlineradio.com. All right. I hope you enjoyed that little interview and segment there. We always appreciate those who put in something just for us. Now I'm going to go on to something else. What's happening is there is a calendar for the month of July. And all of the VA posts are posting what they're going to be doing. Please go to your local VA, look for their calendar of events, and guess what? There's a lot to do. Of course, not only in Pinellas County, but the surrounding counties. And we want to say thank you to all of those who continue to support that. But all the surrounding counties have pitched in to make sure that anything that we do to support veterans, you know about. So don't be afraid. Tune in, come by, find somebody. There are a couple of VA locations you can get beside Bay Pines. There's one downtown St. Pete. Feel free to stop by the office, 501 First Avenue North. Come by, sit down, ask, look for it, see what they can do. Again, I am broadcasting live right here from a VFW, and for me, it's considered the best one. I've been coming in and out of here for years now. They have the best chicken wings in the world, but they also have good people, and they spend their time supporting veterans. We did an event where they could help pay for a special wheelchair created by one of the directors, and it looks like a tractor, or let's just say a tank wheels on the bottom of it. This man can ride up and down hills because he was a hunter, and all of his friends realized that they were missing him, and they pitched together and got a bunch of us together, and they built him a special wheelchair that's now being hailed all the way across the country. It's one of those innovations to support veterans. I want you to know that there's a lot of good things happening in our VFWs. in our American Legions, in our AMVETS. We tend to believe that it ended with World War II. It just began. And a lot of the VFWs are making transformation moves so that they can be more accessible for a younger generation of vets. You know, the Afghanistan and of course our Iraqi vets, Kuwaiti vets. It's a different breed, a new breed. But the VFWs, the AMVETS, the American Legions, the American Veterans Alliances, all are making adjustments to make it more comfortable for those vets, for their needs to be taken care of. So I want you to know right now, do not stay away from your VFW. If you happen to be a Vietnam vet or you happen to be an Afghanistan vet, you all come back to the VFW. Come back to our AMVETS. Come back to American Veterans Alliance. Come back to all of those places that have supported over the years the early vets, and now we're going to support the newer ones. We want you to know that this is the best you can get, and it gets better because we make it better. You make it better. All of us make it better. And don't forget, burial with dignity. We're planning a major event coming because we want to support all of those veterans who passed during the pandemic and before the pandemic. Burial with dignity has finally come alive. It's needed, and we have some good people now supporting it. We want to especially give a shout out to Edwina Alvarez and her wonderful husband and their family and the 2 little dogs, because they did a big thing for us a couple of weeks ago, and they're going to be doing something big for us over the 4th. So I want you all to look out for it, and we will be making much more conversation about this and many other things. Now, it's the 4th of July coming up, and I got to have music. I'm going to have Gino right now plug in some good music for our veterans, and then we will give you a closeout. Thank you for all of those who listen, but we got to have music.
We're still the greatest country on the face of the earth, the home of the brave and the land of the free. A lot of young men and women shed their blood around the world and proudly gave their lives for you and me. I stand for the flag, I kneel at the altar, I pray for our nation that it never falters. I hope for our children, I fight for our freedom, and I ain't gonna bow to any man. I support our local heroes that proudly wear the badge, and the first responders answering the call. I believe that all lives matter, whether black, white, or brown, and I believe in equal justice for all. I stand for the flag, I kneel at the altar, I pray for our nation that it never falters. I hope for our children, I fight for our freedom, and I ain't gonna bow to any man. I stand. So brothers and sisters, rise up and stand tall. If we don't stand united, divided we will fall. I stand.
Keep the boss of the beach. This is Voice for Veterans, and I want to say, stay tuned when you can. get to the beach. Over and out.